You're watching Republic TV. I'm Richa Sharma, and Republic is now getting you an exclusive news break at top of this hour. Your channel has accessed details of a group chat formed by talent manager from Kwan, that is Jaya Saha, who's allegedly the kingpin of this entire drug nexus, who formed a WhatsApp drug group with Deepika Padukone, Karishma Prakash, and Kwan co-founders Anirban Das Bla and Vijay Subramaniam as well. Republic is the first channel to now access proof which shows that top management of the company were part of the group and they were well aware of the drug supply chain that ran at Kwan. Let's go across to my colleague Shavan Sen, who is getting us this exclusive news break. Shavan, over to you.
Well, for the first time, we're revealing the role of Kwan top bosses Madhu Mantena, Dhruv, as well as Vijay Subramaniam. And were they at all aware of what their employees were really up to? Their employees, Jaya Saha, Karishma, as well as Amit. These are people who have been associated with top celebrities like Deepika Padukone and Shraddha Kapoor. And what were their role essentially like? Was it only limited to scheduling the actors' shoots, or was it way beyond that? Now, this particular WhatsApp group that was created by Jaya Saha, in which Deepika Padukone was admin member, in which for the first time we're revealing, and I asked my camera person to come a little closer and show it to our viewers who were the members of this very group. Karishma, who was a talent manager associated with Kwan and also along with Deepika Padukone. Jaya Saha, owner, admin. Deepika Toronto. Deepika Padukone, who is an admin. Her other number here too, she is a member of this group. Anirban Das Bla, who was associated with Kwan till recently when she had to step down after facing Me Too allegations. Vijay Subramaniam, top boss of Kwan. And then you have the legal team members, Madhu Mantena, Ashu Naik and Dhruv. They are all members of top bosses of Kwan, if I may say so. And what is very important to point out here is that this particular WhatsApp group, which was named as DP plus KA plus Kwan, this WhatsApp group in which Deepika Padukone was actually talking about banned narcotic substances. This is the chat, if you remember, which is because of which Deepika Padukone has now been called in for questioning in the year 2017, in the month of October, on the 20th. She's basically talking about Mal, you have, and then goes on to detailing of what exactly she wants. And Amit here too has been associated with Kwan. And here, take a look at it, what they're talking about, hash, not weed. And then this goes on. This entire conversation goes on. Deepika Padukone basically talking about these banned narcotic substances to be brought in. Discussion of where they're supposed to bring in the names of hotels and also places where they perhaps would have brought these banned narcotic substances. And not just that, in this particular WhatsApp group, you also have parties to be, details of certain parties to be organized. Now, that's not a problem. But the problem here is when discussion of banned narcotic substances are taking place, procuring of banned narcotic substances, and then delivering it to the celebrities, even if though it was perhaps some sort of a demand that was put forth by Deepika Padukone herself. Vijay Subramaniam, Madhu Mantena and Dhruv, they were aware that their employee, Jaya Saha, as well as Amit and others, they were the ones who were delivering these banned narcotic substances, at least allegedly that they were, supplying these banned narcotic substances to Deepika. Now, that's part one of our news break. Now, there are more WhatsApp conversations, which becomes even more clearer, gives you a sense of what this talent management company is all about.
Right.
Is it a talent management company or is it a drug company? That's a valid question to ask, especially given the fact that you have employees of Kwan who were basically part of supply as well as procurement of banned narcotic substances, that too for the celebrities. Take a look at this other WhatsApp conversation that took place between two employees of Kwan, that's Nandita Sajdev and Jaya Saha. This is yet another conversation that we have accessed here too. Take a look at it, where Jaya Saha has been asked by Nandita if she's coming to office. They make a mention of Madhu Mantena in this answer, not too well, so at home, what happened through even Madhu message. But important point is this very response. Your CBD oil is here. Not to forget, CBD oil makes a mention many a times in these chats that have taken place. Here too, when they were basically talking about a party or some place that they were supposed to visit, Nandita tells Jaya Saha, go buy a couple of roll joints, smoke a bit and walk around, sit in the park, go see Van Gogh. You will have fun. It's super chill. Now, these are the WhatsApp conversations, but the important question that Republic Media Network is raising at this point in time, that were the top bosses of Kwan really aware of what was actually happening? Prima facie, at least by the evidence that we have gathered so far, it does appear, it certainly appears that the top bosses of Kwan, they were aware of what was actually happening.
Absolutely. Shravan, stay with us. We are now going across to part 2 of our news break. Republic has also accessed an extended version of the 2017 Mal chats of Deepika Padukone, on account of which she has been called in for questioning by the NCB. In this particular chat, Deepika is seen inviting the Kwan members for pre-drinks at her place before the Coco party happens. In fact, immediately after this, she seeks hash, and that entire conversation that we have been showing you, and after which the NCB has also summoned her. So, Shravan, in this particular chat, what can be evidently seen as to how Deepika Padukone can be directly, not through anybody else, but directly asking for drugs?
Well, this WhatsApp conversation took place in a group that has been named as DP plus KA plus Kwan, in which you have top bosses of Kwan. They were part of this entire conversation, and in which Jaya Saha and Karishma, who are associated with Kwan. Karishma, in fact, is a talent manager associated with Kwan, working for Deepika Padukone. Deepika Padukone happens to be one of the clients, and Karishma is being told that whether at all there is a need for some banned substances like, for instance, hash and weed, all of that conversation actually taking place. And then they're talking about a party that is to be organized by Deepika Padukone. And I asked my camera person to come a little closer. This is the planning of the party that is actually taking place on the 29th of October 2017, when Deepika says, I'm planning something at my house this week. When she goes on to ask, Wednesday night, only youngsters. And Jaya Saha responds to that particular message. Deepika responds, let me get a sense of how many people are interested, can make it, but I think Wednesday night it is. And Jaya Saha once again responds by saying that, hi Deepika, just wanted to keep you updated that how we have connected with a person called Manish Sharma. This perhaps is part of a professional, sort of a commitment that was being fulfilled. But in this WhatsApp group itself, here is a conversation that is taking place. It's taking place about banned substances, and secondly, who is getting it done? Kwan employees are essentially getting it done for Deepika Padukone. So even if it was a demand by Deepika Padukone, should the Kwan employees have really gone ahead and actually fulfilled those very demands? And that's the reason why. That's the reason why Kwan employees are now being called in for questioning. You've already had people like Jaya Saha being questioned by the Narcotics Control Bureau, but the top bosses too are now under the scanner. Madhu Mantena and Dhruv have already been called in for questioning by the Narcotics Control Bureau. But here, Republic Media Network establishes the fact that yes, all of these conversations were basically taking place under the nose of the top bosses of Kwan. They were aware of what was actually happening.
In fact, Shravan, stay with us. Now, part 3 of our exclusive news break. Republic has yet again accessed another set of WhatsApp chat that shows another Kwan executive, this time Nandita, talking about drugs with Jaya Saha, who is the alleged kingpin of this entire drug nexus operating. The chats show that Jaya Saha arranged drugs for Nandita as well. So, Shravan, coming back to you, we are seeing constantly through all these news breaks that we have accessed these chats as to how Kwan is back in the focus. All the top bosses of Kwan did know about this particular group that was made, where they were giving access as a talent management company to their talent and artists to these drugs.
Well, in the first part of our news break, we raised this question for the Kwan bosses, that you were aware of what was actually happening. Why did you not stop? Or secondly, why did you allow this to actually happen in the first place? Because they were, after all, your employees in that very WhatsApp group. fulfilling the demand of a celebrity. Now, the fact of the matter is that more employees of Kwan, they were basically involved in this entire drug deal that was actually taking place, or the drug conversations, if I may say so. Take a look at this other WhatsApp conversation that has been accessed by Republic Media Network. This is a conversation between Nandita Sajdev, who is also associated with Kwan, with Jaya Saha. This is a conversation that actually took place. Now, let me just also put it out for our viewers as to when this conversation took place. It was November 15th, 2019. Jaya Saha says, "Are you coming to office today?" Nandita replies saying, "Not too well, so at home. What happened though?" Even Madhu messaged. So a question was asked whether at all she's coming to office or not. But the interesting bit is here. A response that came in from Jaya Saha: "Your CBD oil is here." The question is whether at all banned substances were taken to the official address of Kwan. Were banned substances being stocked up at Kwan? These are some very serious questions, and perhaps legitimate questions, if I may say so. And the reason why I'm using the word legitimate, that's because when you know that your employees are actually dealing with banned narcotic substances, then perhaps it's not a far-fetched idea that banned narcotic substances could have also been in your own premises. And that's a question that one is asking. It's a question that even the Narcotics Control Bureau is asking, not just us, but also the Narcotics Control Bureau is essentially looking at Kwan as not just as a talent management company, but largely as an interface for the celebrities so that they can bring in banned substances for them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shawan, for getting us these exclusive news breaks. We'll wait and see how the NCB now proceeds further, with the focus being back on Kwan and all its top bosses.